12 o'clock. Thank you for joining us at this time. You are watching a news analysis live on Politics and Business TV. The top stories. Electricity distribution companies install a total of 504,729 meters in 9 months. In a bid to prevent further attacks, Plateau State Commissioner of Police deploys a team of operational forces to troubled areas in the state. Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Matthew Kuka, says President Bola Tinubu has no excuse to fail. Details coming up shortly. Welcome back. I am Omo FP Sosemer. Now let's begin with the power sector, as data obtained from the latest third quarter report of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) indicates that as of September 30th, 2023, there were 12 million registered electricity customers in the country. The data also put the number of power consumers without meters across the country at 7.1 million, while a total of 504,729 meters were installed by electricity distribution companies between January and September 2023. NERC stated that out of this number, only 5 million customers had been metered, which implies that over 7.1 million registered power users across the country lack meters. A further analysis of the first, second and third quarter reports of the power sector regulator indicated that electricity distribution companies in the country installed a total of 504,729 meters during the 9-month period. Now in Kaduna State, the command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency said it seized 1,458.709 kg of illicit substances in December. A statement issued to the News Agency of Nigeria in Kaduna by the agency's press officer, Shoaibu Omale, said the seized illicit drugs included cocaine, heroin, cannabis, tramadol, crystal meth, and other psychotropic substances. The spokesperson said that the command also arrested 103 suspects representing drug traffickers, dealers, and drug users. He added that the command also carried out numerous sensitization programs across the state with the aim of enlightening the citizenry on the ills associated with drug use and illicit trafficking. Let's head on now to Plateau State, where 86 persons were killed with 221 houses set ablaze. According to the State Police Command, the attack was carried out by gunmen during Christmas Eve. The State Commissioner of Police, Okoro Alawari, in a statement signed by the command's spokesman, Alfred Alabo, said of the attacks which were carried out by assailants in 15 communities of Bokos and Barikin Ladi local government areas of the state also left 8 vehicles burnt in the process. The statement said to prevent further carnage, the Commissioner of Police had directed the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations to relocate to Bokos local government area and also deployed a team of operational forces to the troubled areas to prevent further attacks and assess the level of damages in the affected areas. In the meantime, the Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Matthew Kuka, has called on President Bola Tinubu to find solutions to the myriad of problems confronting the nation. In his Christmas message on Monday, tagged "A Time to Reclaim Nigeria's Greatness," Cook has said, having now achieved his aim of becoming Nigeria's president after over 20 years of struggle, Tinubu should use his experiences to solve the nation's problems. According to the cleric, Tinubu had no excuse to fail. Cook has said after Tinubu's first faltering steps of policy decisions, which have elicited a mixture of controversy, anxiety and praise, Nigerians were eager to see his promised renewed hope agenda become a reality. Still on Christmas, some Nigerians have expressed concerns about the level of hardship in the country and how it has affected them this Yuletide. Some Nigerians who spoke to Politics and Business News say it wasn't a Merry Christmas for them because of the surge in the prices of foodstuffs and other essentials. The report. It is another Christmas, a day hallowed by most Christians around the world. According to some sects, 25th of December is the day Jesus Christ was born. This day is so memorable for both the young and old. However, Christmas this year was greeted with mixed reactions, and this is not far-fetched from the economic reality on ground. PNB TV News crew journeyed through the ever-busy road that links Nasarawa State to the city center in Abuja, the nation's capital. In what may come off as a surprise, the roads were almost deserted. In Karu, a local government in Nasarawa State, the atmosphere did not exactly point to the fact that it was Christmas. For some, this is because of the surge in the cost of transportation, prices of foodstuffs and other essentials.
One chicken, small chickens cost 15,000 naira. That's money we use in buying goods before, I'm talking. But one sweet chicken, a small chicken, 15,000.
I'm hearing even some pepper right it now next week, pepper will go up, they will add the money for it.
So I believe no matter whatever it is, we'll consolidate and believe and keep on praying.
Following the concerns about the prices of foodstuffs, we then proceeded to Karu Market to see what the patronage looked like. Here, it was gathered that concerns around cash scarcity, inflation, and low purchasing power triggered low sales and patronage.
Christmas day like this, usually the patronage is a little bit low because it's a transaction between 1 to 12 a.m. and 12 p.m.
The biggest one already finished. Only this one remains. But we can say this one like 6,000. 6,000 naira.
As of last year,
last year with this one 4,000.
$1 is short.
so the total effect is
We need to come over to me. Everyone just dry. Yeah, just of the Christmas. Because of the business and price, because of price.
Thank you for buy something today for my hand.
Okay, so the Christmas day all right for your side?
I thank God.
The federal government, on its part, seems relentless in changing this narrative.
President Tinubu wants Nigerians to be able to travel within Nigeria to wherever they want to go to meet their loved ones without the extra burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate public transportation. Nigerians willing to travel can board public transport via minibuses, luxury buses at 50% discount of current cost, and all our train services on the routes the trains currently serve at zero cost to and fro on their travels this holiday season.
However, some of the policies and directives of government appears to be unrealistic for some Nigerians. Do you usually travel home for Christmas?
I do.
So why didn't you travel this year?
Cost of transportation.
But federal government actually slashed transport fare by 50%.
Go to the park and see yourself. Go to the park and observe it. You can get down to Nyanya or to Peace or to all those. Go to Utako and check. If really they really slashed it, go and check very well. The 50% present paid for the transportation. When we went to the garage, they said that nobody paid anything to them. So they told us back.
and we don't see the vehicle. So we have to come back with my children.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu, in his first Christmas message, said he was aware of the sacrifices being imposed on the people through the reforms being carried out by his government since May 29, 2023. While the president has given assurances that his administration would continue to implement palliative measures to alleviate the suffering of the citizenry, fingers are crossed to see the changes this renewed hope administration will bring to the fore. Or more of a piece or summary. Politics and Business TV News. It is another Christmas, a day hallowed by most Christians around the world. Right, welcome back, and joining us now to discuss this is an economist, Malam Yusuf Aliyu. He joins us live from Zaria, Kaduna State. Good afternoon to you, Malam Yusuf Aliyu.
Compliment of the evening.
Right. Yes, of course. Yesterday was Christmas, and today we understand is Boxing Day. How many boxes have you received so far, Malam Yusuf Aliyu?
Not more than 5.
Wow.
We are still accepting more visitors, but I think the season is quiet here in Zaria and activities are going normal. The only thing is that there is very few movement of individuals because of the Hamatan.
Okay. Thank you very much for that update. Right. Yesterday, our news crew actually took a ride to Karu Market to, assess the level of, celebration amongst Nigerians over there. And report, it sent some sort of signals, not too good and not too bad. It all depends on the perspective that people actually see things from. But a takeaway from that report is the fact that a number of Nigerians, cannot really hit their chest and say that the Christmas celebration this year, should be tagged Merry Christmas.
Yes, you see, there are many factors that is responsible for the current situation. Nigeria, they are very strong individuals and very resilient in nature, but their income has already been eroded. People cannot afford to travel. People cannot afford to buy things that is good for them for the celebration as a result of high pricing. And many, for instance, many parts of Nigeria that has a lot of fixed income earners, you find a situation where salaries are not paid, and even if it is paid, it cannot play a greater role. So definitely, those who are selling will not make money. Those who want to enjoy don't have the money to enjoy. So it has to be celebrated casually in the sense that you just have to be grateful and thankful to the Lord for having the life and for even having the strength to pass through the challenges of inflation from 22.22% in January to 28.20% in December.
Well, it's really very disturbing. I mean, the rate at which the inflation rate keeps, going upward, and that's just to, leave us with a question mark as to what that, would mean for the economy and Nigerians in general come 2024. However, the roads were quite deserted yesterday, and one would say that it is not news because, of course, it was a public holiday yesterday, and the roads are actually expected to be kind of empty. But at the same time, it's Christmas celebration. And for some Nigerians, compared to previous years, you ought to see people on the street, people with their families driving, to beautiful sites and locations, to have a good time and also, merry with friends, relatives and well-wishers. But that wasn't the case yesterday. And some of the, some Nigerians who spoke to us as to why they couldn't even travel, to their states of origin or their villages, they actually said that, the 50% reduction or slash in the price of transportation was just some sort of political statement. How would you react to that?
It is not political. It was a window, but unfortunately, the size of the economy and the approach to cut expenses of travelers is not the right step to help the situation. Remember, like I said, even if the transport cost is cut by 80%, if you don't have the 20% with you, it's still not going to translate. And however, looking at the size and the size of the country and the nature of travelers, not everybody will adhere to that particular window because of many reasons. One is that the nature of travelers that are engaged and registered. Second, the efficiency of the companies involved. Because if they don't have the capacity to contain the passengers, they have limited buses that is shuttle. For instance, Abuja, Lagos, Abuja, Abia. You may not likely find Abuja, Kano, Abuja, Maiduguri. You will not have that opportunity. So, in a nutshell, what Nigerians are expecting is for the government to reduce. If government has the mind of containing or trying to cut the prices of transport costs, then government should have the same mind to come with a policy of having a refined product where prices will be contained or where prices will be reduced. It is only in that you find many people who will park their vehicle, they can afford to buy the PMS and take their family even for outing within the same city. But unfortunately, that window is the first experience. But I think we don't. That doesn't show that it has the efficiency and capacity to contain the Nigerian situation. However, most of the people who are intending travelers cannot afford. Cannot even afford to buy food at their doorstep. So when you have people don't have income because prices are high as they are not paid their own due for December, you find a situation where people will be losing hope. And it is not in the spirit of this administration, because the administration is always making a clarion call that it is a renewed hope. So if you are building hope, you build hope with more proactive measures that will make people to understand that there is even life for the hopeless.
Okay. Malam usually will understand that, renewed hope is one, mantra or theme that actually brought this administration into power, while Nigerians are waiting patiently to see what that renewed hope, agenda will bring to the fore. Let's talk about, the regulation of price or prices, as it were, in the country. That seems to be an issue as to why prices of foodstuff and other essentials keep skyrocketing in the country.
Supply bottleneck is one. Right here in Zaria, I encounter people who are employing citizens to assist them to buy agri products.
Okay.
Most of these value chain, they are coming with large sums of money. They are buying the food. They are stocking them in their stores, and at the right time, they will take them to market. And that is what has been my argument for the past 6-7 years. That unless our attitude is straightforward for nation building, any intention by government to contain importation of certain goods and services for us to boost local production and without regulating the prices is going to put more Nigerians into trouble, because Nigerians have limited income. That limited income and inflation is taking the limited income, and eventually, what we are going to see is that we are going to see a lot of people who are plunged into poverty, like we saw last year in January. What we saw last year in December before January. Inflation rate was high, unemployment rate was high, and at least the National Bureau of Statistics in January brought out a bad news that over 133 million Nigerians have already joined the poverty club, and that is not good for our economy at all.
Right. Well, as it stands at this point in time, operating a double-digit, inflation rate, what does that tell you, especially looking at, 2024, where a lot has been promised, to be implemented by this administration?
We are going to start 2024 on a different economic climate because the appropriation act, which is before the National Assembly, cannot be accented by 1st January. So we are going to have that as an introduction of whether there is hope or there is a lot of challenges coming. That is the first thing. The second thing is that the central bank under monetary policy has promised a drop in inflation rate.
Right.
But what we always emphasize is the fact that containing dollar supply and maintaining price stability cannot be conducted using only orthodox approach. There should be more proactive on orthodox approach to the supply structure of our foodstuff, because if you check our production lines is not working very well, and there is always high prices for agricultural input. And once you have high cost of agri input, there is no way you reduce the prices of primary goods that are produced in our local economy. That is one. The second aspect is that if, for instance, we continue to have disturbances in our production line, there is no one will produce what our market requires. You find a situation where an individual is producing 100 kilogram bag of maize, producing over 5,000, and he cannot produce because he's out of the production zone. He is now living in IDP camps. All these are the challenges. So what we are expecting in 2024, we are expecting under renewed hope for government to be more proactive, to have a working refinery, and not only to have working refinery, we have to sustain it, and we also have to crash prices of gasoline so that our MSEs, medium small scale enterprises, can be functioning. If they are not functioning, definitely the number of unemployment is going to be increasing, because if there is high cost of input, especially variable costs that include the gasoline, the gas, and other aspects like electricity, we are going to face challenges in our production line.
Right.
And we are hoping in 2024 for us, since there is not a transition year, we are hoping that our politicians will be more stable and be more concerned about the productivity of our domestic economy. We want our monetary policies committee to work to contain the NPR. I am not expecting any increase in NPR in 2024.
Okay.
Because, yes.
Right.
Because that increase, hello.
Yes. Thank you very much for that insight, Malam Yusha Ali. But time is not our friend. Before we wrap up the conversation, the president has given assurances that his administration will continue to implement palliative measures to alleviate the sufferings of the citizenry. When it comes to palliatives, of course, there have been reports as to how well, those palliatives have been distributed. And of course, we know that the money is, expended, on palliatives, whether in form of cash or food items. It's really a lot. Is this the route we are going to be following in the new year?
No, at all. You see, palliative cannot solve individual household problem. If you give a palliative of 20,000 naira, yes, it's assisting, but it's not going to solve the matter. What will solve the matter is for our economic institution to be working with friendly policies that will encourage our private firms to be working so that people can have sustainable income. Even under United Nations, sustainable development goals of eradicating or providing better essentials to any economy requires good policies, not palliatives. I am not friendly with palliatives, because if you take the number of Nigerians who are to enjoy, the report that was released by the World Bank showed that only 1.5% have started benefiting out of the entire 1.5 million Nigerians that are expected to be enjoying. So, and no matter what you pay as palliative, no matter what you give as an incentives or palliatives in nature, it's not going to solve our problem. It's just cushioning short-term effect. And that short-term effect, if long-term effect policies are not put in place, we will still be running around vicious cycle of poverty.
All right. Malam Ishali, thank you so much for your time and analysis. I'm afraid we just have to leave the conversation here, but one thing is sure, we're definitely going to come back on this same show, you know, to have further conversations as to what to expect in the year to come. Of course, we also keep our fingers crossed and wait for new events to unfold. I guess that would further shape our projections and analysis against 2024. Malam Ishaliu is an economist, and of course he joined us live from Zaria, Kaduna State today. Thank you so much for joining us, Malam Ishaliu, and have the best of the season.
Thank you very much. Compliment of the season again. Thank you.
Right. That's it for news analysis today. Thank you so much for watching. I am Omoife Peace Osemere, and do not forget to follow us across social media platforms at PNB TV. Good afternoon.